Welcome to the Fashion Translator. I'm Claire, your host. Together we explore how AI and innovation are reshaping the fashion industry through creativity, technology, and global partnership. For today's episode, I'm thrilled to welcome Tracy Vontelle Green, co-founder of Vontelle Eyewear, a brand redefining eyewear through representation and inclusive design. Tracy, thank you for joining me today. Could you start by introducing yourself and walking us through what inspired you to build an eyewear brand?
Hi, yes, thank you so much, Claire. I'm Tracy Vontelle Green, and I lost a pair of glasses. It was that simple. And me and my best friend, I called her to complain about it. And she had lost a pair of glasses as well. But the main part of losing our glasses was that it was so hard to find a new pair. And when you look for a new pair, you want them to fit well and, just sit well on your face and not kind of put indentations on your cheeks. I could put my fingers here because these glasses are made by Vontelle and they don't dig in my cheeks. And literally, we just realized that so many people have indentations on their nose and marks, on their faces because the glasses are too small and too tight. And we took a trip to Paris, France for Fashion Week just to walk the big show. It's called Silmo, and they have wall-to-wall eyewear, just tons of designers. And that was our aha moment. The reason why glasses hurt and don't fit our face features is because no one who looks like us are making glasses for us. My middle name is Vontelle, and we were in France, which is a French name. So when my business partner, we decided to try this, we said, let's use a French name. And I said, I already have one. And then I said, when you want to merge middle names? And she hated her middle name, so she didn't want to use it. So the name Vontelle stuck, and that's how we started the company.
Tell us a bit more about the core mission. You mentioned about the face, to have frames that fits better. Tell us a bit more about the soul of Vontelle. Ooh, those are nice.
Yeah, so the Soda Vontelle started, like I said, with two issues. One, finding glasses that fit our nose bridges and our cheekbones and the size of our heads, but also we wanted style and pattern. These are one of the first pair that we created, the Kente collection, and we wanted culture. And we launched during the pandemic. So all you saw during the pandemic, as you know, was everyone in a box on a Zoom. So it really helped people to show their personality through their glasses. So this is how we started, just kind of saying we wanted to see cultural designs and colors on frames, and we wanted them to fit better. We wanted the temples to go all the way over our ears and not hurt. You don't realize that you have a lymph node behind your ear. Everybody does. And when the glasses are too tight and they press, you wonder why you get a headache. It's because your glasses are too tight.
Speaking of the glasses and all of these small details, can you walk us through a bit more of the process from all the way, like if we start from the concept all the way to the frame reaching the hands of the consumer?
So I'm going to say it's, you got to have friends who help you execute. I think everyone has a great idea. I had an idea. I said, I wish I can create better fitting glasses. But if my business partner, Nancy, didn't book the trip to Paris, we would have never went. So we had the idea. We knew there was a frustration, not with just us, but just so many friends and family members. But by making that first leap to research, there's an eyewear show, we can go. We were looking for manufacturers, and the manufacturer said, come to this show. You can meet us and meet other people. So that was the first thing, making that first leap to research, how can we make glasses? And by researching, we met manufacturers, and this one manufacturer told us he will be at Silmo in Paris. So we go to Paris. Then we meet people in Paris. We meet about maybe 12 manufacturers there. I think most of them didn't believe that we wanted to create an eyewear brand because we were women and we were Black women. So they looked at us like we were kind of crazy. So we went from 12 down to maybe about three or four. And then the last two were kind of overpricing us, saying it's going to cost so much to make samples. But this one guy who told us to meet him in Paris said, listen, I can do it. I can do the patterns, I can do the colors, I can make them wider. 'Cause don't forget, there's a mold that's made for most glasses. And the other companies did not want to break the mold because don't forget, we're coming in telling them, you need to make the noses wider. You need to make this longer and wider. You need to make, so they were like, we won't do that. We can't do that. This guy was like, listen, I'll do it for you. And we measured all our friends' noses and we sent him, some shapes. We drew the shapes out. My business partner, we used PowerPoint because we didn't know how to use AutoCAD or anything like like that. So we used PowerPoint, we drew some glasses, we sent him AI images of designs, like different Aztec prints and stuff like the Kente print. And we said, this is what we want on the glasses. And he made some samples. And because it was COVID, the pandemic, he had to ship everything to us. And literally, I think the first samples I cried because they didn't look
Oh,
good. It wasn't vibrant. You know, we wanted the pattern. We wanted you to see the pattern, right? You have to see the
yeah,
details.
yeah,
And it was kind of dull at first, but he got it. And we produced our first set of glasses. And that probably was in the summer of 2020. And we launched our website October 1st, 2020. And by December, I think we made like $7,000. And we were so excited because people wanted the new and different.
I think what you mentioned about breaking the mold is such a pillar. It's if you think about because they are not only they are made with mold, but also there is certain things like that these suppliers, like you said, they said no because they've been doing the same thing for years. And once you have this one thing, it's like making a cake, they're used to that recipe of cake. So if you're making a cheesecake all the time, whether it's blueberry cheesecake or raspberry cheesecake, at the end of the day, the base is the same. But you really went in and it's like an entirely different type of cake. Like starting from, it's good that you found a supplier that was willing to explore and to go out there because if you stay in the box, there's so much opportunity that just stays missed.
Yeah, if he didn't agree to try it, I think he saw our vision. You know, we were trying to sell it to everybody. And I think as a CEO of a business, the first thing I tell all CEOs is that you have to sell your vision. You have to make everyone understand what you're trying to do,
Yeah.
what you want to see, and they have to buy in. And while we got a couple other people to buy in, they were not willing to change. He saw the
Mm.
vision and said, hey, this could be something new for me. I can make more
Yeah.
money because you're bringing in something different. And then, of course, the patterns, which is what we wanted. This is what I'm saying. We sent him images and it actually mailed him fabric swatches. We live in Brooklyn, New York. It's a cultural diaspora here. You have the
Yeah.
Caribbean, you have people from the islands, people from Bangladesh, people from Korea and Japan. I mean, Hawaii. I mean, we have people everywhere here in New York City. So there's a lot of cultural tapestry that's here. And we were like, we want to see that on glasses. And we want the color. We want it to pop. And when we gave him our designs, he said, this is so different. I'm willing to do it. It's been very tough. But the good thing is that we've been preaching this over and over that not all faces look the same, regardless
Yeah.
of background or race or color. You have cheekbones just like I do. People have different noses, shapes, head shapes. So when you wear glasses, and I can't wear contact because my eyes just get really dry, it really hurts. Glasses is the only game in town. So you want to look cute, but you also want to be able to see and have them be comfortable. From the time I wake up to the time I go to bed, I'm wearing glasses. So
Yeah.
if they're too tight and they're digging into your face, that's no fun. And I think the other manufacturers and all the other designers, they never really had people complain. They would just buy glasses that are too small or too tight and deal with the pain. And, put nose pads on or put acid on their face to take the marks away. But I was like, I'm tired of that. It has to fit. And I have a husband and a son who are like over 6 feet tall, and they had to wear glasses and they couldn't find glasses that fit. My son played basketball and all his athlete friends, they're bigger. And then we
Mm.
realized, wow, it's not just us. Men have the same issue as well. And we just started designing and we've gotten into several magazines. We made the Forbes list. We're the first Black-owned and women-owned brand to design for America's Best here in the US. So we're in like 900 stores nationwide. This is one of our top selling men's aviators. Has a little pattern on the temple, but it's a nice shape. And again, you
Yeah.
can put your fingers here. It goes all the way back. I mean, we started designing a lot of stuff, which is great. I mean, this is our Amina, Tiffany, and Claire, who don't want
Yeah.
color. They just want it to be clear. These are
It goes
great
with
and they're
everything.
oversized. They go with everything. So, and then if you want a little bit more pop, these
Mm,
have a nice little marble effect.
very nice.
So
So
we,
tell us a bit more. So we mentioned about like now we spoke about the complexity of the product itself. But as a founder, tell us a bit more about the complexity of navigating all of these different spheres. Because of course designing is fun and then you have the supply. How do you balance all of these things? Even if we're talking about operation and the financial, the management, the bit like all of these different facets that actually makes the life of an entrepreneur.
It's really hard. There's no balance. When you first start a business, you work 24/7. So when we first started, we both had 9 to 5 jobs. I was a chief financial officer
Mhm.
at a hospital, and my business partner, Nancy, was a sales exec for a big media company. So we had regular jobs. And due to the pandemic, her job kind of cut some of her people, and she was one of the people to go. So she had more time to focus. But I was still going to work at the hospital, coming home, shipping, packing, doing everything once the orders came through. So there really wasn't, I mean, I think I would go to bed every night at 11 o'clock. So I would work my regular job from, 8 to 6 or whatever time that is, come home, eat dinner, kiss my husband and my son at the time, because he went to college. And then I would ship from like 7:30, 8 to 11 o'clock at night. So it's really tough. You don't really have a balance. And then we were trying to do all the things. It was just us two. So, one of us would do the invoicing. That was me because I had a finance background. She would do the sales. She would call and say, "Hey, we have new glasses. Do you want to buy them?" We would kind of like, we would have to do social media. So,
Yeah.
I'm at work, I'm on a lunch break, I would post. And then finally I got ill, and in 2020, I found out I have a rare form of diabetes. I have type 1 and type 2. So I
Oh,
told my boss, I lost 50 pounds, and I was like, I have to take care of my health. And I basically retired early. I left at the end of the year of 2020 in December. And I was home for 6 months, just focusing on the business. I had to take care of my health. I had to work out. I had to do all those things because it was the pandemic. I wasn't really going anywhere. And my
yeah.
mind was still, busy, busy, busy.
But
So
then,
that
yeah.
year, all I did was ship, pack, do invoicing, and we reached out to anyone who would listen to us. And I don't know if you've ever heard of, there's a group of ladies who had a blog, and I reached out to them and said, "Would you post about our company on your blog for Black History Month?" And she said, "Yes, we would do it for free."
Good.
That month, we got over 15,000 hits to our website. So you
Then,
need people to,
yeah,
yes, you
believe in
have
your
to
vision.
ask. Yes, you have to ask. I asked everyone. I went to magazines. We were able to get in Black Enterprise. We was able to get into the Network Journal, some little magazines that would just put us on. And we was like, "Listen, we're doing this, and this is why we're doing it. Will you put an ad in for us?" We don't have the money to pay, but they like, "We'll do a clip, we'll do this." And it was the best thing because those opportunities led to more people knowing about us. And then being home, we were able to finagle through relationships that we've met over the years. The good thing about starting a career, a second career, when you're 50 plus, because we're in our 50s now, you already have relationships. So we
Yeah.
had friends who worked at Saks, who worked at Macy's, who worked at places, and we were able to get Saks Fifth Avenue to carry our first line. Isn't that, I mean, like, that's amazing. And again,
It
through
is.
contacts that we had, over the years, we called everybody that we knew and say, "How can you help us amplify the brand?" Like I said, you have friends who have friends. You don't realize your friends know a lot of things. They all have
Correct.
great jobs, and you're right. So we tapped our friends, and that really helped us. One of our friends was a writer, so we got to get into one of the news articles. Another friend, she was in photography. She's like, "I'll do some pictures for some free glasses." We were like, "We'll give you free glasses if you do some pictures for us." So we really tapped our network. And I would tell all entrepreneurs, you have to do that. But we were doing
Yes.
literally everything all at once, like that movie, everything all at once
Yeah,
at the same
that's
time.
true.
You're just constantly trying to sell. When you do sell, you're trying to ship, you're trying to get more people to see your stuff, you're doing social media, you're trying to get out. We did in-person events. We will stand up by the Brooklyn Museum outside on a Saturday and sell glasses. So you have to do a little bit of everything to build
Hmm.
awareness.
It's true. At the beginning, you're not sure which way or which method or which, you never know what will take off or what will bring in more results. So, like, to not limit yourself and go out there and talk. And I couldn't agree more. For the network, it's to get the word out there. Don't be shy to ask, be proud, share your vision. And when you stand in your vision and you talk about it, you mention it, and then people feel compelled. They want to, like, when they can tell in your voice and your energy that you really truly believe in what you're building. It makes them want to be part of it and to help you, and then to talk about it, and then they'll go to brunch, and then they'll hear someone make a comment, and because your passion will make an impact, they'll mention your name, and then that connection can lead to something else. It's really butterfly wing effect at the end of the day.
Yes, yes. It's step by step by step. And I tell entrepreneurs, don't be afraid to ask. If you put in the back of your mind, the worst thing I could say is no. You already know the worst.
Exactly.
Everything else is, yeah, that's it. So you just got to go. And then sometimes no means not right now. So I don't take no
Mhm.
for an answer. If someone says no, I can't do it, I say, okay, I'll come back in a couple months. But I keep
Exactly.
coming back, right? Because no might be right now, but the more you come back, and then they see your progression. When we first
Of
started,
course.
we were only in Saks. And
Yeah.
then we met by luck. My business partner, we was on a call and Nickelodeon reached out to us,
Mm.
Paramount, and said, can you do kids' classes? And we said yes. We didn't know what we were doing. We didn't even know if we could do kids' classes, but we said yes. And then we started doing the research behind the scenes. And
Yeah.
we're the first woman-owned brand to design a collection for Nickelodeon. So we have SpongeBob glasses, Paw
No.
Patrol, Baby Shark, and they're for kids and they can put their prescriptions in it. So again, something that we just said we were in the right place at the right time. They asked
Yeah.
us, we said yes, because they saw our designs and they said, well, can you do kids' designs? So the SpongeBob actually looks like SpongeBob. They're like brown on the bottom. They have his socks on the temples. It's really cute. So we worked really hard to kind of just not take no for an answer and just keep asking and keep saying, hey, the customers are asking for this. And when we were able to prove that the customers were asking for it, we got friends to do testimonies. We was like, please do a Google review, talk about how your glasses used to hurt. So we would get those little vignettes and we would post them. And more people were like, yes, you're right. I didn't realize that I can't put my finger here because it's digging in my cheeks. You're right. My head hurts because it's pressing here. So once people started to understand what their problems were, we were the
Mm.
solution.
You mentioned like they to show testimonial, and to me it really caught my attention that people are not aware of what is wrong with their glasses. So tell me a bit more how you bring this education and how you help people spread awareness and education in terms of help people understand that actually pain is not just doesn't go by default with a pair of glasses, that this is not how the baseline should be.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. The funny part is that, like you said, nobody really understands. They think they had a headache because they know it's something with their glasses, but they don't really understand it's the glasses. They're like, oh, I just been wearing it all day. I have fatigue, or I'm in the computer all day. But they don't realize that if the glasses are pressing on your face here, these are all like nerves.
Yeah.
And people realize they have marks on their nose, but they just say, there's no glasses that fit me. So I just deal with it. And then they'll start, buying nose pads or putting like fade cream on or whatever. So we had to kind of educate and say, are you realizing you're having a headache after wearing your glasses? Do you realize that you have marks on your nose and why you have marks on your nose? So we have to kind of say it over and over and over again and show proof. We would show pictures of people with just a line on their nose. We would show
Mm.
people with like their eyes are kind of like glazed over because they wore the glasses and it just hurts. So after you start to talk about it over and over again, and we would say, hey, look at these person's glasses. The arc stops right here. It's not long enough. It should go all the way back. It should not be pressing. You should be able to hold your head down and your glasses don't fall off.
Mm.
And we all have different nose bridges. So it's hard. So this is like a keyhole. So we have to make different designs for different types of noses. So not one pair of glasses fits all. But the more you
Yeah.
talk about, it, the more they understand that, wow, I'm in pain and it's because of my glasses. And that's crazy. It's crazy. But, once you put like a name brand on it, people forget that part, right? So they're like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
wearing, the most expensive glasses. They could be the most expensive. We see Snoop Dogg. He's like the most highest rapper, right? His glasses are too small. But he's paid a lot of money for them, but they're not fitting his face, right? So, we reach out to the celebrities too. We're like, hey, wear our glasses. And we've been lucky to get a lot of celebrities in the glasses as well over the years, from Queen Latifah to Steve Harvey to the restaurateur Marcus Samuelson. He actually likes these. We've got if you ever watched the show Abbott Elementary, the principal wears our glasses on that show. So we've been lucky to cross over and get people to see better fitting is just where you need to go.
I think as the awareness and the education continues to spread, more and more people are going to be looking for a fit that is actually suited to their face, because design is one thing, but functionality, they shouldn't compete. There's really ways for them to be side by side. and even complement each other in a way that serves you in all the facets. That you want to look cute, you want to be comfortable, and you want to see where you're going. So all of
Yeah.
this comes together.
You want to be comfortable, but you want to look cool. Like
Correct.
these aviators
Yes.
sold out. Like I don't even think we have any more of these. But you want to be my prescription of these. Every pair of glasses I put on, even sunglasses, we put
Okay.
prescriptions in. So we do prescriptions
Uh-huh.
as well. So you want to see, but you want to look cool.
Correct.
And that's the whole thing. And when we first started, we were just going to do glasses, but we gave my mom a pair of glasses and she took it to her optometrist. I think she paid like $600 for her prescription. And that's
Mm.
just so expensive. We were like, we got to find a better way. The community can't afford. It's a medical necessity. So
Yeah.
I wear eyeglasses, your vision should be treated the same way as cancer, right?
Mm.
But they don't cover everything. And if you lose your
Mm.
glasses, if you only get one pair a year, that's it. So we
Yeah.
partnered with the lab and we were able to do progressive prescriptions for like 150, not 500. And it comes with the anti-glare everything. We're able to do single vision for $100. So that's another thing. Not everyone can afford to pay $500 for a prescription.
Right. It's definitely a reality. And if we think about your business, so to bring all of these beautiful, oh, I love green. Green is my favorite color.
We have a lot of green ones too.
No, really nice. So when it comes to bringing these beautiful glasses to the market, like running your business, which aspect has most of your focus right now?
Distribution, definitely. So we have a model of everything. We sell wholesale. So we sell to America's Best. We're in Shop Bop. We sell to Sam's Clubs, which is like a big box food
Yeah,
chain up here. We sell to eye doctors across the US, Puerto Rico, Caribbean, Dominica, Trinidad, Jamaica. So we sell wholesale. We also sell direct to consumer on our website. And of course we were in Saks, but we're not in Saks anymore. But we do try to get some retail partners. So our major focus is always sell, 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 get more
hmm,
distribution because the more people know about you, then the more you can sell. So that's the biggest thing. And that runs because I tell entrepreneurs for every dollar you earn, you probably spend $50 because everyone gets a cut. Your e-commerce site gets a cut of everything you sell. Your credit card, if people use credit card, they take a fee. Your bank, you have to do taxes. You have to do marketing. You have to pay for flyers. You have to pay for the package. The glasses come in beautiful packaging. So everything you make a dollar, somebody bought the glasses, but you spent $40 to $50 just to get that $1. So you have to realize that you have to have volume. You have to continue to
mm,
sell. And the good thing about having wholesale as well as direct to consumer and retail is that when one thing goes down, you have something else coming
yeah,
in. And we
other
just started doing
channel.
government. Right. We just started doing government contracts as of last year, which really saved us because once the administration here, the new presidential administration, added the tariffs, a lot of our
Yeah, oh my
wholesale
God.
orders went to zero
Yeah,
because they were paying the tariffs they didn't want to pay. So imagine you're a company and you're running and you're getting all these orders, and all of a sudden for 4 months you were getting 3,000 unit orders a month. Now you get zero.
yeah, it takes a hit.
Thank God we partnered with New York City Department of Education, our public school system here. We started doing screenings and glasses for kids, and they paid us for each kid. So that helped us stay afloat in 2025 because of the tariff situation. It really hurt a lot of businesses. We ran out of cash, I mean, in December of 2025 because we still had to do our taxes, we still had to pay our team, we still had to pay for stuff. So when you realize that it's really tough, so you want to have multiple channels of income
Yeah.
coming in. That's
Mm,
important to make sure you don't put all your money in one basket because if they
yeah.
close or they decide not to order or they go bankrupt, you are shit out of luck. Excuse my French.
Yeah,
We say
it's
that in America.
yeah, I think it's a very, very valuable lesson for any entrepreneur to diversify and to be able to have, and it's not even a plan B, it's like multiple stream at once, and just to be able to turn around and to move things to get you to keep going, basically. That's the goal, keep going, right?
Keep going. Don't give up. I mean, I tell you, some days we have said, all right, that's it. We're going to close shop. This is not working. And then something just comes up that's so great. And then we get it, right? We apply for a lot of grants. As a new business, you need funding. And
Yeah.
early on, I went to a banker and I said, we need a loan. We got this. That's when Nickelodeon wanted us to do the kids. And the guy said, you don't have a proven concept. And I looked at the banker. I said, you're wearing glasses. We're making glasses. That's it. What do you mean we don't have a proven concept? What he meant was that you're a woman. You're a black woman. You've never been in business before. I'm not giving you a loan. So it was really tough. We had to apply for grants. I think we applied, that was our midnight oil. That's what we did at the other hour that we had left in the day. We would apply for grants. And luckily, we won our very first grant. We won $10,000 from the Danny Garcia grant. She actually is the ex-wife of The Rock. And she put together this wonderful grant for new businesses, women and Latin-owned business. I'm also have a Latin background. And once we applied for that grant and we won, we just kept going. And I think to
Yeah.
date, we probably won over $200,000, $300,000 in grants. And we do pitch competitions. So when you're in business, you cannot be afraid to talk about your
Yeah.
business. Do that
Yeah. That's
pitch
right. That's right.
because
Go out there.
you have to be your own best champion. And you need money because, like I said, for every dollar you make, you spend about, $40 because you got to do all the things to get that dollar. So you want to make sure you're out there getting capital into your company because the first 2 years we didn't pay ourselves. Me and Nancy,
Mm.
thank God we had husbands and we saved money from our jobs because the first 2 years we received no salary. Everything we made, we put back into the company to buy glasses, to
Yeah.
pay for
Reinvest.
shipping, right, to pay for people to help us do imagery and stuff like that, models. We didn't pay ourselves for the first 2 years. And I don't know if people can do that. I mean, it's really tough. Imagine no salary. I mean, you're living off your savings. That's what we did. And then the savings after a while, we're like, okay, we got to start making money and paying ourselves. But we did. And like I said, the grants really helped out. So I just tell entrepreneurs, don't be afraid, do those
Get out
pitches.
there. Yes.
Learn your pitch. It's the who, what, where, why, and how, what your business do, why you do it, who are you servicing, what you need to do, and why you're so important. And you get that down pat, you can recite it in your sleep. And we won a $75,000 pitch competition because I just did that pitch, exactly what I just said to you. What I do, why I do it, who we're servicing, why it's important. And we do some catchphrases. We like size matters. Size matters. And by doing
It
that as a
does.
catchphrase, yeah, we
Yes.
caught the attention of the judges. We was like, size
Yes.
matters, and this is why it matters. And you wear your glasses all day, and if you have diabetes or glaucoma or retinopathy or any other condition and you can't wear contacts, glasses are the only game in town. So you want them to be
Yeah.
cute, pretty, and fit well.
So tell us, Tracy, now that and we can tell the passion that took you all the way to today, but we want to know where it will take you tomorrow. And tell us a bit more about the vision for Vontelle, the growth you want to see in the next few years.
So we want to grow exponentially. I mean, it's like we need more distribution. The great thing is that our current partners reorder from us. So like I said, we're in Sam's Club. They're doing another order this year. We now are back to monthly orders with America's Best. Our direct to consumer is growing because our social media membership has grown, and that has helped us, sell more direct to consumer. That's the best profit because there's no middleman. It's just us and the
Yeah.
consumer. So you want to increase that. Our goal is to branch out. We realize that eyewear is a tough game because there's so many people in it, but we're looking to do other things. We have a new partner coming out soon. We're going to be doing watches. This would be our first
Oh.
license. Yes, our first license. So a company reached us to say they want to license Vontelle. And that is a great opportunity because now we get to put our name on other products. The more that we grow, I think Vontelle can be limitless. We can do eyewear, we can do clothes, we can do watches, we can do perfume. I use Ralph Lauren as my North Star. He started out with a tie. Everyone knows Polo and Ralph Lauren. He only started
It's
out with a
true.
tie.
That's
And
true. Wow.
from ties, he grew to what we know he is to today. He has home line, he has furnishings, he has everything. For Vontelle, I want this company to outlive me. I want it to, even if I step down, someone comes in and takes over and grows the brand. What we're doing is very important, and everything should be size inclusive, from your glasses to your watches. I have, my husband has a thick wrist. He needs extra links all the time. So
Mm.
you want to make sure that our brand is all about inclusivity and that anything that we do, I have really bad allergies. So if I was to do a perfume, it would have to be allergy free because it's
Mm.
so hard for people to find fragrances that they can wear that doesn't give them a rash and all those things. Like we've learned that a lot of our customers can't wear nickel or wear stainless steel frames because it gives them a
Mm.
rash. So there's so many things that we're learning and doing in business that we know, oh, when we make a belt, we won't use nickel. As we move forward into other accessories, we will be able to grow the brand and make sure it's
Mhm.
inclusive for those people who can't find things that fit them.
Apply the same philosophy and expand on that.
Right. Apply that philosophy and expand on it for every product. Like I said, again, we're not a monolith. The things that are out there has been there for years, but have they really targeted everyone who needs specific things and have specific issues? And again, eyewear should be able to look beautiful, feel great, be light. These are really light. Like I said, every pair has my prescription in them. They're very light, so they're not weighing down on your face. That's another thing. Heavy frames, then you add a heavy prescription, then it's definitely weighing on your face and leaving those
Yeah.
marks and indentations. So our goal is to continue to grow, continue to we make plain black glasses too. We get that call. Do you just have black, plain black? Yes, we do. Actually, I put a green tint in these, but these are just plain black. So we know
Mm.
people like just plain black as well. When we first started, it was all color and pattern and designs. But then some of our customers like, I just want plain black. That fit well. And we did it. That's the good part about being a small company that you listen to your customers and you're able to produce what they want.
You keep the finger on the pulse, directly on the pulse to understand and grow with the customer. So Tracy, there's a lot of exciting things that are coming, both for you and for Vontelle. We'll make sure to keep an eye and be in touch to see what's happening. Thank you so much for joining me today. It was a pleasure.
Thank you for having me. Talking with you has been amazing.